Hi, Wendy. How are you? Welcome to the podcast.
Oh, lovely to be here, Lorena.
I'm so
I
excited to have
can't
you.
believe after all these years, watching Young Talent Times so long ago, way back in the 70s and the 80s, that I'm talking to Lorena Novella. Well, you call yourself Lorena, don't you? It is Lorena, isn't it?
I will answer to both of them because people know me as Lorena, but it is Lorena, but I don't mind. I'm so used to it. I'll answer to both. Now, I
Yeah, I
have
think
a very,
Australians are used to it.
yes, yes. Now, I have a very important question to ask you as your first question. What do you think made YTT so special?
That's a good question. Um, it was a real family show. It was one that everybody could watch. My grandmothers, both of my grandmothers would watch it every Sunday. It was I live in Newcastle, so it aired on a Sunday afternoon
Oh,
for an hour or 55 minutes, I think it was.
oh,
And both my grandmothers watched it, and they had disabilities. So but one of them was bedridden, the other one was very
mm,
disabled. And so for them, it was, the joy of their week, basically. For
yeah.
my mother, for my sister and me, dad, not so much, but all us girls would sit there in the lounge room and just, it really was something to look forward to every Saturday. And you felt like you knew the members, even though we didn't. And you didn't know us. We felt we connected with you. It was just a beautiful show, and it played great music, and it was fun.
Mm.
And there was always something to look forward to, or when they had contestants on, you know, every single bit of it was exciting. John Young was amazing. And I mean, we all had our favorites, I think, but that would come and go as would leave, or and new
Mm.
members would come on. But it was just an amazing show. It's sad that it stopped.
Absolutely. Now you've touched on another question I had for you. Who were your favourites?
Who were my favorites? Well, we'll go back to the 70s, and I
Yes.
didn't watch it as much in the 70s, but in the 70s, it was definitely Sally Boyden.
Oh,
She
beautiful.
was 2 years older than I am, so she was one I looked up to, just gorgeous, delightful young girl. And so that's where that started. Then in the 1980s, well, there's the girls and the boys that I've got to separate them.
Yes.
Because with the boys, there came crushes.
Yes. Tell me about your crushes. Tell me. I won't tell
Michael
anyone. No
Campbell.
one will know.
I don't know one will know. Oh, good. Michael Campbell.
Yes, he was mine too. He was my big crush. He wasn't he so
Yeah,
handsome?
he
Yes.
was so handsome. And I remember one time I think I was 14 years old, and he was singing a song. It might have been Have You Ever Been in Love? Or I Write the Songs. And I remember going up to the TV while nobody was looking and kissing the TV like a quick peck so that nobody was.
So
So Michael
cute.
Campbell was the first boy I ever kissed.
We got a little electric shock on your
Don't tell
lips. You went,
anybody though.
"Ah." I won't tell. It's our secret, Wendy. Don't worry. And what about the girls?
The girls. Um, so Sally, Tina, you wrote back. You were the girl who wrote back to me. So I can't remember writing to any other girl, to be honest. But I wrote back to you when you wrote back to me, and I don't have
Oh,
the card
oh
that you sent, but I
no.
remember it. I can picture it in my head, and it was just really
Oh,
lovely.
oh,
Um,
beautiful.
yeah, and
Was it handwritten? Was it
teen
handwritten?
handwritten, yeah, handwritten. The other favorite I had, who was a boy, and he was a few years younger than me, so I was not allowed to have a crush on him. My plan was to marry him off to my sister one day,
Okay.
Bevan.
Yep.
Yeah, that
Oh,
did.
yes, Bevan had so many
So,
girl fans. They absolutely loved him. He was such a cheeky
well,
character.
when he came on Young Talent Home the first time, my whole family like we were sitting in the lounge room and we just gasped with our mouths open. It was spine tingling. He's saying how great they are, and that was
Yes.
we it was our favorite hymn. And my grandmother had, I think she loved Bevan more than she loved us, her granddaughters. I think she adopted Bevan as her grandson.
Wow,
Bevan doesn't know
that's a
this.
statement.
So,
Amazing.
so she was very excited because my sister and I would write to Bevan. Actually, it was me who did most of the writing. Well, I
Mm,
think I did all of the writing, and so I've got this. You might not be able to see it clearly, so I'll do a
I'll take a
picture of
picture and
that
put it
and
up.
send it
Yep.
to you. Dear Wendy and Melinda, thank you for your letter, and I thought the poem about the team was really great, and I'm going to show everyone at TV House. I'm glad you enjoyed the entertainment centre. We had a great time while we were there, although it was quite a lot of work. But we had a party after the last show. We are coming up again this year, and I think we're going to do some extra shows this time. Hard to read. I need my glasses on. Well, I haven't the time to write much more because I've got heaps of homework. Bye now. Love, Bevan. Oh no,
Oh,
there's no kiss cuddle, but other ones he did kiss cuddle. So we got actually quite a few letters back from Bevan, and it was
wow.
so exciting when we did. Mum would pick me up from school and go, "You've got another letter. I think it's from Bevan again."
That
Uh,
is so
and it
exciting.
was you get home and you'd be shaking with excitement, um,
Yes, I can
waiting to open
imagine.
it, but very carefully. And he even sent a photo of himself, which I've got. I can't find the original photo, but and this is probably hard to see too, but it's on a bike somewhere. It might be.
Okay.
You were young people. You were going to school, doing the schoolwork that you're meant to do, which is tough enough. Um, Homework, exams, and you had to rehearse after school. And then you did performances, and then you did concerts, and then you wrote back to your fans, and you were engaging and you were
I'm exhausted
relatable.
already. Well,
So
thank you.
I don't know how you did it. I really
I've
don't.
no idea.
Um,
We just rolled with it. I don't know how, I don't think we realized when, say, my family joined, when I was put on, and all of a sudden, your whole family is involved, what it meant. How much time I'm thinking maybe John told my parents, this is what it means. This is how much time investment there is. It may affect schooling. I don't know because I wasn't in that conversation, but um, I don't know. It just happened. We'd just get home from school, I'd do my homework, and then I'd sit there and answer fan mail and have dinner.
because we didn't think of all of those things because we were young at the time too. But now, as an adult, you can look back and think, how did
Yeah.
these kids do all of that? It's incredible. And
Mm,
do it and have joy, have a smile on your face. And your dance routines were fantastic. And I remember listening to Bevan a couple of years ago and telling us that he couldn't dance and that he learned to dance on Young Talent Time. And he could
he
dance,
did.
amazingly, as good as
He did.
anybody.
Yes.
And,
Yes, he did.
I was going to say too that when my grandmother passed away in 2002, and at her funeral, we played Bevan's How Great Thou Art because it was her favorite song.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, that's so beautiful. Have you told Bevan this? He would love that.
I think I did. I might have put that in
Mm,
a comment, and he,
yeah.
yeah,
Now, you
replied back.
mentioned a concert before. Did you get to many concerts?
Um, because I live in Newcastle, there weren't too many that we got to, but we did in, when was this one? This was 1985 at the Newcastle Showground.
Mm.
And It will be hard to see, but I know that I'll be able to scan this for you. But there's Jenny at the front. I think Bevan's next to Jenny here.
Yep.
And there's thousands of people from Newcastle in the crowd there. My sister and I were right up near the front. You can't see us in
Oh,
this, but
wow.
and then
How did you
there's
feel
another.
there at the concert? How did you
Oh,
feel at the concert?
oh, it was electric. It was exciting because all of a sudden you weren't on TV. You were real people that we could reach out and touch almost. And I don't think we did.
I
But
think it was a bit more set back, wasn't it? I don't remember being able to
yeah,
reach.
yeah,
Yeah.
just but they were. I can see when like kids were clambering over this top, trying to get on top of the on top of the stage near the near the audio there, and I've got all these little ones. They're thumbnail photos from the
Oh,
Newcastle Herald
wow.
from way back then. So it would be
Oh,
great to
gosh.
get them blown up, professionally blown up.
Yeah.
But you can see the thousands of people in the crowd.
That'd
And
be
that's how
great to see
loved you
those.
were. And
Mm,
Australia's, I mean, Newcastle is a relatively, I mean, we're the sixth largest city in Australia, but still, that was a heck of a lot of people to come to a concert for that was
yes.
Young Talent Time, and
Yeah.
then there was the Sydney Entertainment. So that was March 1985. And then December 1985, Sydney Entertainment Centre. So I remember
Mm.
being there and I've
Oh, how
got,
exciting.
yes, Bevan signed our autograph then. Actually, like, see, again, I don't have the original photo, but look, I can show you
Mm.
this after.
Just bring it
He's
into the middle
behind
there.
the, he
He
looks like
looks
he's
like
in
he's in
jail there.
jail.
Or we were.
Yes. Depends which way you're taking the photo, looking at it. Oh, my goodness.
What we should
Wow.
have actually done is said, Bevan, we're the people that girls that write to you all the time, but then it could be anyone standing next to us that
Yes.
wrote
Writing to you
to
in
him.
jail. Now,
Yeah,
did you watch the show
yes.
right until the end?
No, I didn't. And I wish I had, but life got in the way as I was getting older. By the time
Yes.
the show ended, I think I was 21 and working full
Oh,
time and had a boyfriend then. And, that sort of takes priority over watching TV. But it was always something that was really dear to my heart, you know.
mm.
Uh, You never forgot. And you never forgot, for example, um, looking back, when was it? 1983, I got my first hair perm. It- Young Talentine was the cause of my hair nearly falling out due to overprocessing, but it was Tina
And
Arena.
mine too.
So we all wanted our hair like Tina's hair. And
Tina, okay. Yep. Yeah,
yeah,
she had the
yeah.
big
So it
perm.
was at
Lovely.
1980s perm, the big hair.
Yes.
It was,
Oh,
I
yeah.
blame Young Talentine on that.
I blame it too. Did you do the whole teasing at the
I
front
know,
with the
and
bird's nest?
teasing the
Yeah.
fringe so it sticks upright.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy that that was so cool?
It
The
was,
higher
and
the better.
I'm glad it's stuck in that era. I hope it
Yes.
doesn't
Come back.
yeah, come back again. So if it does, I won't be doing it.
No, no, not the perm again. It's too severe.
And
Now,
then
you mentioned too that you got autographs. So did you meet anyone else from the team, say out or see them in public shopping or eating out or anything?
no, because I live in Newcastle, it was not like living in Melbourne. So
Yes,
that just wouldn't have
of
happened.
course.
But I would have loved
Mm.
it too. I mean, we did actually go to Melbourne in 1983 for a family, distant relative's funeral. And I remember getting on the tram then, being so excited with that and thinking, maybe we'll see a young Talentine person. No.
Well, because we
Maybe.
were always on public transport. We were. They
Yeah,
could have put us
yeah.
somewhere.
You might have been there, but do you know with Heidi, as you said you've
Yes,
done?
Yes, I have. I have hidden. I must confess. I used to hide, pretend to be asleep on my mum's shoulder on the way into rehearsals into Lennox Street, all the way from Croydon Station into Richmond Station, and I was either against the window or on my mum's shoulder with my eyes closed, thinking they won't recognise me if I just have my eyes closed. But they did. They would tap me on the shoulder. Aren't you the girl from Johnny Young? And they would always say Johnny Young. I don't know why. Or they'd say you're the girl from Young Talent Time. And I'd say, I'm not Johnny Young. Don't call me Johnny Young. But anyway, yes. Yeah. Why do you think you still talk about it today? What comes up in you when you think about Young Talent Time now as an adult?
And why do we talk about it now?
Mm,
It's part of it was part of my teenage years. I mean, it was a big part of my teenage years because the next day after we'd go to school, and some of my friends were fans as well. One of my best friends, Danielle, she'll probably be watching this. She said she was going
hi,
to call
Danielle.
her daughter Tina when she had
Oh,
a daughter. She didn't do that, but that was how the impact I think that you had on us and how we just idolized you. But there was also a feeling of connection, like we knew you, and
yeah.
we wanted to be your friends because we liked you.
Yeah. Oh,
And so it was an exciting part of our week to look forward to. So for me, that was through my teenage years, and for my grandmothers, I mean, that was something for them to look forward to every week. And then I would get the inevitable phone call straight after my grandmother ringing me saying,
yes.
"What did you think of the show?" And going through everything and talking about Bevan
Wow.
this, Bevan that.
Bevan, everything.
I was going to say, years later, Bevan was on the Bert Newton show. And by that stage, I'd grown up and I had had a baby. I think my son then was about 1 or 2 years old. And my mum rang me and said, "You'll never guess who's on TV." I said, "Who?" "Bevan." So we turned on TV and he's on the Bert Newton show and he was a
Yes.
regular there and he was so funny. And so my grandmother would watch him again there and she was,
Oh,
that was probably in the final couple of years of her life. And
mm,
it meant the world to her. It
wonderful.
brightened her up. It was lovely.
Mm,
So I've got another autograph. Bevan
um,
again, of course.
of course.
Like,
Who else is good? Oh, is this from a magazine?
no, Bevan sent that to me and my sister. It says, "Oh no, this is
Oh,
just to me. Dear
oh,
Wendy, lots of love, Bevan, kiss, kiss." So way back. That would have been
yeah.
maybe, gosh, you're
That's
not
before, no,
you're
before
not
I
in
joined.
that then.
No,
So you
before
weren't
I
in there
joined.
then.
That's
That
the
would have
team
been
that I
before you
joined.
joined.
Yeah,
Was that? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So what
isn't
year
that
was that?
beautiful?
1984?
84 I joined. Yeah,
Yeah, that would have been
84.
84. Yeah, Bevan was
Yeah,
still very young. Yeah.
yeah. So I
And
joined when
Jenny,
Joey Peroni was still there.
oh, yeah, that was another one. We love Joey Peroni, one of my best friends, Linda. She had a massive crush on Joey Peroni. So, I mean, she lived across the road from me, and she'd come over and watch it with me. So, she'd be kissing the TV with kissing Joey Peroni on the TV, and I'd be kissing the TV.
Oh,
Like,
that's
okay,
so
but it
sweet.
was it was sweet. It was endearing.
Yeah,
Um,
such
yeah, it was
innocence.
just lovely. So we
Mm.
actually went out one night when we were, I think I was 18 and she was underage. She was 17, and we got into a nightclub. And I think we got there early. Joey was supposed to turn up about 8 o'clock at night. And we were waiting and waiting, and it wasn't until about midnight, I think, that he was then going to appear. And we thought, "Oh, that's too late." And then these two older men came up to us and were trying to flirt with us, which was a bit
Oh no.
highly uncomfortable.
Would have been.
And then I remember saying, "Oh gosh, I've got a boyfriend and he'll be here shortly." And I
Mm,
didn't have a boyfriend at all. And the next thing
yes.
you know, my dad walks in, and I said, "And
Mm.
there he is." So both linked our arms around my father, looked back, and waved.
Did you get
We
in
did.
trouble?
No, no, I didn't get in trouble, but he saved
Oh.
us. He saved us basically from.
Oh, well, you were the right age, so you wouldn't
They
have
would
got in
have been
trouble.
dad's age. So yeah, they would have been dad's age. But no, we didn't get into trouble, but he was just always looking out for us. But we didn't get to see Joey, unfortunately.
Oh, too
And
late.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. But it would have been great. That would have been if I probably in 1986, 87.
Did you ever want to be on the show as a contestant or a team member?
No way.
No?
No, I was way too shy. I
Okay.
just loved watching. I loved singing. I used to sing in a choir, and we were actually Australian champions back in
Wow.
1985. So 3 years after we formed, we were Australian national
Amazing.
champions. Yeah.
Wow. What was the choir called?
It was called the Waratah Girls Choir from Newcastle, and they're still going to this day. So they've
Oh,
been
wow.
going since 1982. So what's that, 43 years? And it was a motley crew of girls who were, you didn't have to sing, so some of them would sing like angels and others would croak like bullfrogs. Me, I was more the angelic type of singer, and my sister was like a bullfrog.
I'm sure she'd
And
love
so
you saying that.
she knows it's the truth.
Truth
We call her
hurts.
monotone Mel.
Oh,
Um,
no. Oh, poor Mel.
well, she named herself that. So
Okay, that's all
she's
right
good at
then.
other things. She's really good at other things. So, but it was yeah, it was exciting to be part of the choir and
Mm,
watch that evolve too. And I liked it because I could blend in with the group, without being singled
absolutely.
out.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Now, I want to bring up, I see you very often on my Facebook group, on my page. And thank
you
you so
do.
much for all your support. You're always there commenting and cheering on everything that I do, which is so wonderful. And I wanted to ask you, how does that feel being connected there? Because I find that a lot of fans that come to the Facebook pages of all the team members make friends and start conversing with each other and sharing memories.
Yeah, I think that's it because we're getting older now. Um, you, you look back at your youth. This is part of your youth, and it
Mm,
was a very innocent time. It certainly was for me. Um, Times were completely different.
mm,
I don't think you could ever repeat young talent time. We've talked about that before, but you wouldn't be able to
yeah,
do it for numerous
no,
reasons. There'd probably be laws preventing children working so hard.
probably. Yes, it'll probably stop us all the time. It would be work health and safety, occupational work health and safety.
Yeah,
Stop
yeah,
work. Everyone stop.
yeah, that's right. That's right. But no, I know it was for you, it was like you loved doing what you did. And yeah, it showed. But so being able to connect with you now and tell you what it meant to us, the fans that watched you and loved you, and what it meant to our families, it's wonderful.
Mm,
And
mm,
you can't do that with other people. You just other people, I guess it's that connection, being able to connect on a personal level
yeah,
and to say all of these things that as an adult you didn't think of probably as a child, a teenager.
that's right. That's why I think it's so important. I think the fan's voice needs to be heard because there's so many emotions there, so many memories, cherished ones, really strongly. Like the fans still to this day, uh, just hold young talent time so close to their heart. They will fight for it and speak about it forever, which is why I think it was important to start this podcast to hear it, to hear everyone's feelings about it and their love for it.
I would say it's part of Australia's pop culture history.
Mm,
There should be a hall of fame for it somewhere. I don't know where you put that, but there should
yeah,
be. It was
yeah.
just so special. And, I guess the fan base is what keeps you on air as well.
Is there any other show that has affected you in the same way?
No, look, I could compare that to I used to watch in the 1970s the new Mickey Mouse Club, so the
Yes.
American one,
Yep.
and I really loved that. I mean, I'd watched that often. So it was a similar sort of thing with kids of a
Mm,
similar age and very highly talented and um but no, Young Talent Time was more, I think, more relatable because you were Australian kids. We
yeah.
understood, we listened to you,
Yeah.
you had the same accent as that we had.
Yes.
Um, I don't know, you're just part of our lives. Our TV, look, I remember I wrote a poem to Bevan way back. So he's got that in his letter there. Thanks for the poem about the team.
Yeah.
So it was a really long letter, a really long poem that I've written. And I remember it started like this. Every Sunday at 4:55, our TV viewing comes alive. We wait for a child to say, now here's Johnny Young. And then we know our weekly highlight has begun. And I think it went on to say, center stage with a voice to kill stands our favorite star, Bevan Adamsell. He powerfully
Oh,
sings with all of his heart our favorite hymn, How Great Thou Art.
oh,
Tears flow
that
from my
is,
mother's eyes, and my sister makes her wistful sighs. He'll go a long way, my father replies, and I just watch his sparkling eyes. And it went on for, I think, about 3 pages
that is
long.
so
So I remember that to
beautiful.
this day.
I
Yeah.
can't believe you remember that. That is so beautiful. That really touched my
Yes.
heart. Has Bevan heard that? Oh, of course, he said he mentioned it. Sorry, he mentioned it in the letter. That would have touched his heart incredibly. That
Well,
is so beautiful, Wendy.
he said in the letter there that
Mm,
I'm going to show everyone at TV House.
mm,
I mean, I wish I had the full copy of it. I've got part of it, but not
right.
all of it.
Oh,
But yeah, that's how much, to take the time to actually write a poem. That's
yes.
that's how much you all meant to us. And I talked about other team members too. And I think it would have been 1984 when I wrote that one.
Beautiful.
But
Oh,
yeah,
thank
and
you
there was
so
another
much.
time I remember sending Bevan stamps. I was working at the time, so I sent him 20 stamps to make up for all the letters that he'd sent. So he must have
Oh,
sent a heck of a lot of records, a heck of
mm,
a lot of letters to us. And
yeah.
so I thought, oh no, he must be paying out of his own money for all of these letters.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that is so
So
wonderful.
he actually wrote back and said, thank you for the stamps, but you don't need to do that. I'll always write back to you. So
Oh,
it was just lovely, lovely
beautiful.
interactions. And yeah,
Beautiful.
he
What a
was very
beautiful
sweet.
story to end on. That's lovely. Thank you so much, Wendy, for sharing all that. That's so many beautiful, heartfelt stories there. As a last thing to say before we say goodbye, would you recommend to another fan watching that they come on and have a chat as well?
Oh, of course I would. I'd tell my friends that I went to school with, can't you? You need to go on there. You've got your own
Yes.
stories because I know they did, because we talk about it every Monday afterwards. And there were some kids that didn't, but I hung out with the girls that did. And
Yes.
yeah, they were great times. And I wish those years we could go back in time and be part of
Rewind.
that again. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, you put a big smile on my face. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you for your time and your beautiful stories.
It's my pleasure, Lorena.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Wendy, for coming on the YTT Forever Fans podcast. Your stories were fantastic, and I hope that she has inspired you to come on the podcast too. If you want to do that, check out the links below, and I would love to have a chat to you. After all, this show is all about you, and it's for you to show your love for the show that brought us all so much happiness. Don't forget, if you want to see more of this content, we've got to keep this YouTube channel alive. So make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And I can't wait to meet you and hear all your stories too. Don't forget, keep smiling. Bye.